I think they wwere talking about my Jufro. Oh, no. Oh, it was
Your ring.
The high school ring for West Bloomfield when they won the title. I got a ring.
Jansen had a Jufro.
No, I did. You ever see mine?
No.
I'll show you the break. It's pretty large. when I was in college. All right. We'll get into the Pistons at 4 o'clock. Very pleased to talk about a team that's won 8 in a row. Although the Lions won 8 in a row this year, didn't they? But it's very rare for our basketball team, the professional basketball team, to win 8 in a row. Speaking of the Lions, now, throughout the day, I sometimes I listen to the radio station, probably more than I should. But, in the mornings, I'm, at Planet Fitness or, on the treadmill or the elliptical or whatever, the recumbent bike, listen to Costa and John. And I wasn't listening today. So when I came into work today, Hatchet was sitting there going, man, and Evan, did you hear what, and Rico, actually, you heard it live, right?
I did. And
you said, did you hear what Gov had to say? I said, what? And,
well, Stoney, I caught it in the middle. Okay. So in all fairness, I did a little research.
Okay.
So I called up Costa and said, hey, Gov said this. Because, a lot of times we'll read ticket text, and it sounds like you said it, but you're just making fun or you're embellishing something at a call or a ticket text. So I was like, did he actually say this? Was it a caller? Was he being sarcastic?
Right.
And he was like, no, he actually believed this. And I was like, no. Are you serious? Because he was like, no. He actually said it early in the morning, and then he said it again around 8:30-ish or so. And even Rieger was like, dude, did you just hear me? I'm like, okay, so I'm not the only one.
So this is Tecumseh Tom.
This is Tecumseh Tom. Tom apparently has a feeling about a certain ex-coaching staff member. And honestly, I would like to know, does he speak for the people? Like, is this how people really feel? Because this is really turning into bitter ex-girlfriend territory right now. David, if you would.
There's some truth to what Gov said, in my opinion, because I think Dan Campbell has a lot to do with it. But first of all, he's not a retread. The players, I remember, TJ Hawkinson, for one, and some of the others, they really wanted them to keep Ben Johnson from the Patricia era. So I wouldn't call him a retread because that has a worse connotation. And calling him trash? Come on, Gov. I mean, I know this is the entertainment business.
But he's not character assassin.
I'm not character assassin.
But he's trash?
But he's trash.
But, I agree the fact that this offense is Dan Campbell's offense with Ben Johnson running it, because none of this stuff would happen without Dan Campbell. Conversely, if Ben Johnson's going to get criticized for when things go astray like it did in the playoff game, then Dan Campbell has to take responsibility a little bit too, because you're going to give him the praise for the offense when it works. You got to give him, a little bit of the blame when it doesn't.
Okay, here's where it's just got
trash. How do you call a guy to have that guy trash?
Okay, guys, this is something that, look, the best thing is it's going to turn the Detroit-Chicago rivalry. It's back, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Ben Johnson brought it back, and they haven't played a game, Stoney. But you can't sit here and call the man trash. You can't hear and say, well, it's all Dan Campbell, because this offense under, was it Anthony Lynn?
Yeah, it
was not good.
It was trash.
That was trash.
Yeah.
They weren't good.
Right. Dan Campbell did the right thing.
On the fly,
Anthony Lynn.
Fired him. Yeah.
And actually, Dan Campbell pretty much called all the plays at the end of that first season.
Right.
Did they deify Ben Johnson here a little bit too much? Yeah, we can all agree on that. But trash? Come on.
Yeah. Like, he went a little overboard on that, but that happens in our business. But Ben Johnson, trash? Wow.
Guys, if we go overboard with the Ben Johnson slander, or do you believe that, like Gov, like, you know what? It was all Dan Campbell, and Ben Johnson got way too much credit. 248-539-9797. Because I heard that, and I'm like, okay, so you were beloved just months ago. I'm just waiting until officially you lost the Commanders game because of Ben Johnson. It was all Ben Johnson's fault.
Didn't he win the award for the best assistant coach in the National Football League?
Twice.
Yeah.
So,
and it wasn't voted on by the Detroit precincts either.
Yeah, but trash, overrated. He's Mike Martz. I'm like, oh, this is getting to into the bitterness.
Right. Look, Mike Martz failed when he was here as the offensive coordinator. He did get to a Super Bowl. They lost to the Patriots, but I wouldn't call Mike Martz trash either.
No, I wouldn't. But when I heard
he was
that,
the man, we called him the mad scientist. I do remember those days.
I was just like, wow, how the tides have turned, and Ben Johnson is just lucky to have a job, and they carried him. Like, I don't think people realize that, yeah, Anthony Lynn was here, nothing happened. Ben Johnson called the plays. Ben Johnson had that offense humming. To a man, everybody on that offense loved Ben Johnson. I'll even go as far as to say this, Stoney. Ben Johnson extended Jared Goff's career. Goff owes Ben Johnson a nice cut of his new salary because he was a cast-off. The Rams couldn't get rid of him fast enough. We picked him up. It looked as if he was going to be tossed away. The Lions drafted Hendon Hooker, and then all of a sudden, it works. It clicks. Him and Ben Johnson, they work together. Yeah, Ben Johnson made Jared Goff who he is today. I can honestly say that. That's why I'm anxious to see what Goff's going to look like next year without Ben Johnson. But he's not trash. He is, if anything, I think that this team is going to sorely miss him because I don't know what Morton is going to bring. He could be good.
Yeah, he was here a couple of years ago, so he's got really good credentials. And the players that were here for the first
Ben Johnson had this.
Yeah,
Ben Johnson had this offense scary where teams didn't want to play the line.
Well, here's the other thing, Rico. Remember just a year ago how basically you could have had a parade down Woodward because Ben Johnson decided to stay.
Stoney, I need you to stop with the facts, okay? Stop with the facts. But I do. He stay. Because he loves it here in Detroit. He's one of us. And then he gets a job and he's overrated and he's trash.
He did a smart thing. He waited until he got a better job than the ones that he was offered last year, probably, you know?
I'm the opposite. I think Ben Johnson made that offense. I think Ben Johnson was the offense. It was not Goff. It was Johnson because Johnson found ways to put all of those people in the right spot. He found ways to utilize everybody to their positions, and it worked.
Well, I think Dan Campbell should get a lot of credit for that, too. I'll agree with Gov on that. It wasn't just Ben Johnson creating these plays. The plays were created in a group setting, but Ben Johnson's the one who calls them during the game.
I wasn't in Allen Park, but I just think that Campbell seems like the type that he trusts Ben Johnson. He trusts his players and said, hey, Ben, I'm going to come up with some trick plays, come up with some fourth down plays. I can overrule you on the headset, but pretty much you call the plays. You call pass, you call run, unless I think like, you know what? No. Let's change that play because I'm the head coach.
Here's a question that maybe the answer that Gov needed to say, and I'll explain what that is. Because there's a big question here.
See, that's a veteran radio tease right there.
Yeah.
See, guys, we hope to establish that level one day. That's why he's the Godfather. Right there. Okay? Kenny, remember this day. The day you worked with Stoney. 97.1.